All right, Darren, thank you. 8:38 now, and it's time to check in with our pet expert, Dr. Jill, live in Orangevale.
Yep, and we're talking about ear health, and I'm not surprised to hear see you holding a doggie there. I associate ear problems with dogs out in the yard and getting stuff stuck in there.
Yep, you bet, Paul. Dogs and cats and ferrets, which are now legal in New York. I want to make mention of that. Not in California yet, but hopefully they will be.
Okay.
So, this is Sophie. Guess how old Sophie is, Paul?
Sophie is a little frisky puppy of only 2 years.
No, 16 years old.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah, she's an old timer. And I want to make mention, you know, dogs of all ages and cats too can get ear infections, especially this time of year because everybody's starting to swim again. A lot of dogs get in the pool, they get water down in those ear canals. Those ear canals are lined with skin, and when skin gets moist and wet, what happens? Infection time. Kind of like a Band-Aid on a wet wound. And what happens, you'll notice their ears kind of get stinky, a little smelly. They get yeast infections. Just like people do.
Yeah.
Yep. So you want to make sure, watch out for a couple different things. I've had 2 cases of ear mites in the last week, which is really unusual in dogs, mostly more common in kitty cats. Look at this nasty bug. Isn't that yucky?
Yeah. So how do they get the ear mites?
Well, you know what, Bethany? They're everywhere. They're in the environment. They're contagious from one dog to the next. So if you go to the dog park and they're playing, you know, ear infections are rampant around dog parks, boarding facilities, swimmers, again, or sometimes just the wrong food can exacerbate an ear infection. So I want to make mention there's some really cool products, of course. There's products for your dog. When they swim, I like the swimmer ear. You put that in before they swim and after. It'll dry up some of that water. And then for ear infections, there's all kinds of things you want to talk to your veterinarian about. For example, there's drops. There's liquid, and they actually have this newer product that's an ear pack. You actually pack the ears so that the owner does not have to apply medication. I want to make sure that people understand this is only through a veterinarian that will prescribe that, but they pack the ears for 14 days. It smothers out the bacteria and yeast, and the owner doesn't have to apply the ear drops because a lot of dogs, when they have an ear infection, are very head shy.
Well, I don't understand what that means, head shy. What's that mean?
They don't want you to touch their head?
You touch their head, they kind of shy away. If you see them rubbing their face, shaking their ears, swollen, or you smell something. Dogs should not smell. And I see a lot of dogs that come in here and I think, whoo, how on earth could people live with those dogs? They stink and they don't even notice that it's happening. Okay,
before we leave, I just want to ask, you didn't say keep the dogs out of the pool. It's good for dogs. I mean, it's fun and there's otherwise no harm in letting them get in and swim around, right?
Right. No harm in letting them swim around, but check their ears before and after. Also, when you bathe them, put a little cotton ball in their ear before you bathe them so that the water catches on that.
Oh.
Interesting. Great suggestions.
And I know all the pool maintenance guys were grimacing when I said it's good to let them get in the pool because I know that's a mess, but that's another problem. Dr. Jill, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
You bet. We'll see you next time.